Hello everybody, I'm Cheri Band. It's Friday, it's my day to share. Welcome back. Thank you for watching. I'm on week 15 of living whole food, plant-based, no oil. And I'm here to give you an update. So how it's going, how it went this week. You can see I got my hat. If you saw the post, I set a goal for myself. I'll be totally transparent. I set a goal that once I got to 189, I found this plantsonlyshop.com. It's the Esselstyn family that runs it. And I wanted one of these hats really bad, but I wanted a blue one. And I got to 189. That was my goal. And I said, I'm going to buy myself one of those hats because it's the plants that have been helping me so much. And I got to 189. I went to go buy the hat and it was sold out. So I said to Darren, I said, you know what? Screw it. We'll just say 179. I get to 179, then I'll order the hat. Maybe I just need a different goal, I guess. So anyways, on Sunday morning, I believe it was, I think last Friday when I did the video, I was 180. On Sunday morning, I got on the scale. It said 179 before we left for church. And I said, I'm ordering that hat when I get home. And of course they had them in. I was so excited. They have all kinds of colors. I wanted to wear it like when I do my walking, but I don't want to get it all gross now. So maybe I'll have to get, like, they have a red one. Maybe I'll have to get a red one while I'm walking, because that would be good for people to see me so they don't hit me or run over me. But anyways, good week. Let me tell you, have I complained about a week yet? Pretty good week this week. Like I said before, 231 when I was in the hospital. We're on week 15, so it'd be 16, 17 or 18 weeks ago, something like that, when I was in the hospital. 231. And the scale this morning, I was 177. So 54 pounds. I think that's right. 54 pounds I've lost. So it's just insane, guys. And I know I say that every time, but it's just so crazy to me. Yeah, it's just crazy. And it's the food. It's the food. And I do walk a lot, like this week. And I think I got 2 times I did, maybe even only 1 time I did the 3 mile in the morning. And then I do walk after lunch, and a lot of if I can. And then I do walk later in the evening with Darren. We go on a like about a 1.5 mile walk in the evening. So I do walk a lot. And for anybody out there that's like just listening and you're like, shit, Cheri, you're walking so much. That's why you're losing so much weight. I will tell you, I could not walk if I didn't. The food is what gives me I have so much energy. I have so much energy. And homeschooling the kids, and somebody commented because I said, I have so much energy now. And they're like, Cheri, you had energy before. But listen, guys, I didn't. It looked like I did lots, and I did lots, but I did lots tired and feeling like shit and drinking lots of coffee. I mean, Starbucks and I had a pretty strong relationship when I lived in Auburn. When I was running the studio and homeschooling the kids, and somebody looks at that and they're like, holy cow, you have all those kids and you homeschool and you're running a business and you're doing all the things. For any of you that are familiar with what I've done in the past. Some of you might not even have a clue, but I know people probably looked at that and they're like, oh, she's doing so much, I could never do that. Well, guess what? I did it very highly caffeinated, and I always did it tired. So it is the food. It's the food first, gives me the energy, and now I'm addicted to the walking. Not gonna lie, I love it. I love it. I clear my head. So anyway, so I only have a couple things. I don't really, and I know I say that every time, but I only do have a couple things this week. Talking about walking, let me talk about that first. A lot of times I try it when my jar is not getting very full, because I'm only doing, if I do like 1.5 miles, you can see like the ones where I did the 5 mile and I put the date on them, and I even like some of the 5 miles I took my gold Sharpie and painted or colored them gold. But anyways, if I get a 3 mile, I get a stone. If I get a 5 mile, I mark it usually or paint it gold. But I ended up getting did a 3 mile. So I think maybe I did it twice this week, because I think one of the black ones in there. So it's going to take me a while to fill this guy up, because even though I'm walking, if I do the 1.5, I don't give myself a stone. It's only if I do that extra distance. But I picked up this stone, and I think it's sandstone. I don't know if you can see this. Can you see it? Let me try to get in there. You can see, there. You can see all the layers. I saw this, and I thought, you know what? This is such a good representation. See all the layers? And they built on each other to make a stone. I just thought, this is such a good representation of what I'm doing. It's just day by day, hour by hour, choice by choice. and I'm, building something, good health. And that's exactly how I take it day by day. I used to always, I will tell you, I always was a planner, and everything had to be, because I'm a control freak, guys. I am a control freak. And everything that I did had to be planned out, and I would be thinking and thinking and thinking, and my brain was going 100 miles a minute, and I would get upset with Mr. Bant because I'd be like, you don't understand, my brain is always going. And I've heard other creative type people talk about their brain never resting, right? And I'd gotten around a bunch of creatives when I ran the studio, the art studio, and I felt really like I fit with those people. And because they too, like, their brain is just going and going and going. Well, let me tell you, and I talked about this last week, but I want to talk about it again. Since I've been eating this way, things have slowed down. I don't feel so anxious. I don't feel like everything has to be figured out. And it just is so calming. And I don't know if it's the food in combination with the exercise or what it is, but I will tell you, it has just given me so much relief mentally that my brain feels like it can rest. And, before, I honestly thought that's just the way I'm wired. I felt a little crazy. And I know that there's other people out there. You feel a little crazy, right? Like your brain's going to hurt. But now that I'm doing this, I can finally focus. And I haven't been able to ever do that. And I don't know. I used to be very athletic when I was young, and I still was like that. So I really think it has to do with the food. So I think a lot of the attention deficit kind of thing is our food. But anyways, back to the sandstone thing. That is so much what I'm doing. It's just like day by day. And I get up and it's a new day. I just start again. And it's working. And I just think so many times we have this, and this is what I have here. We think about food. We think about a health situation. Like would I have done this, went whole food plant-based, if I wouldn't have ended up in the hospital? No. Maybe, I don't know, but probably not. If I wouldn't have been presented with this choice by my physician's assistant that I was just going to appease, like, the hospital, they were like, you have to go to this appointment, because I didn't have a physician at the time, and I'm like, sure, whatever. I'll appease them. I'll go tell him that I'm not taking any medication. I'm going to find a real doctor. That's what I thought. And then he presented me with this idea of the whole food plant-based diet, and it was exactly what I wanted. I wanted to take control of my health. I didn't want someone telling me I had to take insulin or metformin or whatever for the rest of my life. I knew there had to be alternatives in my gut. I knew there had to be something more holistic that I could do. And so to be presented with that and have that choice, of course I grabbed onto it. Was I skeptical at first? Fuck yeah. I mean, I loved my steak. I was living before I went on this diet. There was a place here locally, Max Meats. I think I might have even talked about them when I was doing crafting videos. Oh my gosh, best smoked meat. I went every week and got their smoked meat sticks, and I was eating those like daily because I thought, I'm doing keto, I'm going to cut back on the carbs, all the things. So I loved meat. I loved my protein. And but now that I'm here, 15 weeks after I started, this is not a diet. And that's what I want to talk about. One of the things that I always used to do before, and I can remember thinking this way, I knew my sugar was an issue. I knew I felt like crap. I knew that food, I knew what I was consuming. I just couldn't figure out, because of the information I had been told, carbs are bad, high protein, high fat, carbs are bad. Some people wouldn't say high fat, but some people did, like in terms of like advice. So I thought fruit was bad. I thought pasta was bad. Rice, bad. Carbs, right? Corn, bad. That's awful. Potatoes, bad. Lettuce, salad, leafy greens, good, but I couldn't live off of salad. Who lives off of salad, right? So anyways, anything high in carbohydrates, I just completely avoided. And I always used to think if I would get the weight off, like if I could do keto or low carb and get the weight off, that I knew that everything I had kind of been told is the weight leads to the insulin resistance, leads to the diabetes. So if I get the weight off, then I'll be okay and I can eat whatever I want. That is not how I'm thinking with this now. The way that I feel, I am not looking back. There is just no way on God's green earth that that I'm going to go back to the way that I used to. Now, the way that I feel, my body, no way. I just feel so much better. But the thing is, so it's not a diet. Early on, I said whole food, plant-based, no oil diet. And I think a lot of people might even kind of look at this as you think about Nutrisystem and Weight Watchers and did it? Let's see, what else have I done? I did the Noom thing. I had that app for a while. I did MyFitnessPal. Let's see what else. Atkins, GoLo. What else did I do? Oh, remember Curves? I did that too. Went to Curves. With the advice of my physician, I needed to exercise to get skinny, lose weight, so that I wouldn't have to go on diabetes medication. But how are you supposed to eat, Cheri? Low carb. Okay. So anyways, what I'm getting at is I always thought about those as diets. They were always diets to me. And it wasn't something that was a lifestyle. It wasn't a long-term thing. This is forever for me. It's a long-term thing. And it's just my commitment to it is no other reason than I just feel so freaking fabulous. And two, medically, I'm all clear now. So, I don't know. Anyways, I just wanted to say that because I've had I've had a few people ask me about stuff. And I think that it's easy. If you don't have the come to Jesus moment like I did in the ER, if you don't have that, then you might look at me and say, gosh, she's lost 54 pounds. I could really lose some weight. This might be something I could try. And I'm telling you, try it. Try it. First, get the dairy out of your diet. And second, start really looking at what you're putting in your body because it does make a difference. But what I want to say with this is that be mindful if you're going to start something like this is to try to take it day by day. Like back to the sandstone. I went all in, and I honestly think that that's easier because then you're not tempted when you first start. And those first few weeks are hard, but I think for someone that doesn't have the kick in the ass, like going to the ER, I think that it might be easier to start a little slower and start with like one thing and take it day by day. And I can't give advice to that though, because that isn't what I did. I just cut it all out. I cut out all the stuff, and I think it went way quicker because of that. So I am on a lot of forums, and I read a lot of the frustration that some people have about weight loss. And I think, oh my gosh, for me, I don't want to say it's been easy, but it's been stinking easy. The weight's just going, it's just melting away. And a lot of that has to do with, I was lots bigger. So if someone only needs to lose like 20 pounds, you get down to those last 20 or 30 maybe, and it's maybe a little harder. I was fat, I was really heavy. So it's easier to lose that bigger volume. But I think those people that I'm seeing the frustration, I think they're still eating some of the other things that are adding to it, and still looking at it like it's a diet as opposed to a lifestyle. And I love, this is now, okay, so this is the thing. The other thing I want to share today, because I only had two, was Thrive Market. I signed up for that. We did Melaleuca for like a million years. I love their products, right? But I was on their supplements and I was spending a ton of money a month. That's how I had some of the energy that I had to do all the things that I did, right? Was supplementation. And I'm not doing any of that, just B12 right now. And I'm not doing any vitamin D. I might do that come winter or whatever, but I'm in the sun every day for enough time that I think I should be good. I have not had my vitamin D levels checked, which I probably should, honestly. But those are the two things that if I was going to supplement that I would, the B12, which I do take, and then vitamin D. But so I'm not doing that anymore. And Allison actually has now become somewhat allergic to tea tree oil, which is in all Melaleuca products for the most part. So we canceled that. And in turn, I was looking at Thrive Market, because they have a lot of food items and, or, natural cleaners, things like that. So I signed up for them, and it seems like I got some stuff. It seems like a pretty good deal in terms of like the things that they have in the variety. But what I wanted to share was, okay, so eating this way, It's just made me more adventurous in terms of like what I'll try. Before, I stuck to the things that I, liked, and I never really tried anything. So I don't know if you all are familiar with jackfruit, but I kept seeing all this stuff about jackfruit, and it's really weird. It comes in a can. You can get it in a can. And if you have like a Trader Joe's around you, they probably have it. We don't have any place that sells it around here because we live in the boonies or whatever. So the Thrive Market, I thought, I'm going to try a can of that jackfruit. And then I'll see what I can do. And I got, I'm going to give a little shout out to Easy Vegan because I got a recipe I just popped on the internet. And I will tell you, Easy Vegan jackfruit tacos. So it's kind of like, it ends up being like pulled pork or chicken, and it's fruit. It's crazy insane. Crazy, but super simple to throw together. But this is what I want to talk about. It's so, there's so many options. There's so many options. And it's not like, it's kind of like a meat alternative, but it's a fruit and it's really good for you. It has that texture, but I wouldn't say it tastes similar to like pork a little bit, depending on what you put on it. It's like a white triangle. It kind of looks like pineapple a little bit, but you cook it down and you like use a potato masher, and then you can put whatever seasonings. But this is the question. I get so many questions about this one thing. Oil. Because you can see, I don't know if you can see here. It says tablespoon of light oil. And the reason that I think that they had oil was the squirrel. Can you see the squirrel falling? I don't know if you can see it. I think it kind of fell a little bit. Sometimes they just fall out of the trees. It's a little crazy. But anyways, sauteing onions for the jackfruit. So it's like jackfruit and onions, and you use cumin and chili powder and smoked paprika, which is amazing, by the way. A little bit of veggie broth, some garlic, but you saute the onions and garlic together. And nobody, like before I did this whole food plant-based thing and no oil, I would never saute anything in a dry pan. I just wouldn't do that. That would just be crazy. Like dry saute. But that's what I do now. Like I use a stainless steel pan because I get so many questions about the oil. Stainless steel pan, you heat it up. And you can do it with like a nonstick as well, but you heat it up, get it hot, and you just dry saute. If it starts to stick, you put a little bit of water or a little bit of veggie stock, and you saute it out. But this was so simple and easy. And it has the texture of like shredded chicken or shredded like pork. And you could do like Italian seasonings with it. You could do all kinds of stuff. But anyways, jackfruit. It's one of my new favorites. So I've got to get more of that. Or if you have a source, because I think for Thrive Market, I think it was like $3 something a can, which is a little pricey. But if that's your main like, component, that's not too bad. Because I have leftovers. Darren and I ate some. Allie ate some. And there's still leftovers. So one can goes a long way. But anyway, so try new things. Like just even try new things. If you're thinking about cutting back, first and foremost, my advice is cut out the dairy. Get rid of the dairy, milk, yogurt, cheese. Get rid of it. Your body will be so much happier. Yeah, do it. But then if you want to start cutting back on meat before you completely cut it out, try something like this. Go to Easy Vegan. I can even share this. I'll share this recipe, Easy Vegan jackfruit tacos. Get yourself some jackfruit. Try it. It's super easy, super simple, super tasty. You can even make yourself like a Chipotle bowl or something with it. And try something new because you'll be surprised. It's super delicious. I was scared of stuff like this before. I'd be like, who eats that kind of stuff? But now I do. Now I do. Because plants only. Because they rock. And they're making me feel amazing, and they can make you feel good too. So anyways, thank you all for watching. That's all I have for today. I know there's lots more I could talk about, but that's all I got really. I think that's it. And I just want to give a thank you to plantsonlyshop.com because they did write me a nice little sweet. Who does that? If you have any kind of business and you can write handwritten notes, it means so much because you see it and you're like, oh, I feel special. And I do. So thank you. Thank you. So you all have a blessed one, and I will be back next week sharing how it's going. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later.